Morning. We're going to be using the coconut milk that you had left from the recipe that we used coconut milk in, which for the moment eludes me. What do we use coconut milk in? Whatever. You had a lot left. And I said, I promised you we'd use it up. Now, because of the way today is going, I haven't been efficient enough to get my coconut milk out to defrost, but I have a little tip for you. My friend Claire told me that Marks and Spencer's do coconut cream. I don't know why you can't see that says coconut cream, but it's in a little tin, so it's much better than those great big tins. And according to Claire, it's so creamy that you can just really eat it, and it's lovely, a bit like the better version of balsamic vinegar that I raved about the other day. So I'm going to use this little tin. Now this video is going to be in several parts because of the way our day works out with Zoom meetings and a film crew going to the pub, if you please, this evening. Haven't got time to do it all in one go. I'm going to do the beginning today now, which is marinating the chicken and making the marinade, and then later I'll show you the cooking bit. So I'm going to get everything ready now, which is what I would suspect you would do, which is mixing the marinade and cutting up the chicken. You know how to cut up a chicken. It's not difficult, is it really? What a nit I am. Hold on a moment, girls. Where am I? Okay, there's my chicken. There's my shot knife. I'm just going to show you the sort of size you want to cut it into. Now, in the recipe, you are supposed to thread it on skewers, but you know, lazy old me, I can't really see the point because you only have to take it off to eat it. So I've never threaded on skewers. I've got more than one recipe for satay, and I never put it on skewers. What you do need to do is take every bit of fat, vein, gristly, whatever it is on there. You don't want any of that because it is not going to cook off. That will only cook off in a casserole type situation, slow cooker or oven. But on something like this, where you're going to need every last bit of nice chicken, you just want all of these bits cut off and disposed of, if you please. Thank you very much. And then you want them cut in the sort of pieces that you would cut them to go onto a skewer if you were barbecuing it. So reasonably large lumps. You don't want little tiny bits. So if you take that bit, I'm going to cut that into 3. So that's the sort of size I'm talking about. So that's what you want to cut your chicken up into. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now, and I won't bore you watching me doing it. There's all my chicken, all chopped up, all in nice lumps. Now, I think one chicken breast is plenty for 2 people. This is one of those ones that I had before, the size of an ostrich. So it's a big chicken breast, but actually by the time you've done this and you've got the rice and all the vegetables, that's plenty of meat. I'm not a huge meat eater, and I find that's plenty for the 2 of us. So that's your taste as to how many you use. But for me, a big chicken breast for 2 people is loads. I'll leave it up to you. So that's what we cut up there. And you're going to mix that with a tablespoon of Thai red curry paste and a tablespoon of your coconut milk left over from before, or in my case, coconut cream from Marks and Spencer's. But in future, these are jolly little tins to buy. Because, you know, you haven't got loads of it left over, and I always have it left over whatever time I use it. So the red Thai curry paste, this is Bart's, who make lots of spices. Now, I found huge difficulty buying it. Didn't get it anywhere locally. I had to trail over to Waitrose to get it, which, you know, is not the end of the world, but it was a bit of a faff. It was lockdown time, and so I went to Waitrose and got it. But since then, I have been able to find it locally. So that's what my spoon won't go in. How annoying is that? Right, I'll open my coconut milk instead. I'll have to do that in teaspoons and make it up to a tablespoon. I do hate these little jars. Things don't fit into. Just open this tin. with my dodgy arm. Should have got Rob to do it. Right. And there's this coconut cream, which is very creamy, I have to say. And you just want, you want half a tablespoon, which is, a tablespoon is 15 ml. This is 5 ml. So I'm going to do 1 and half tablespoons. And I'm still going to have loads of this left, aren't I? But actually, not as much. Oh gosh, it is lovely. It tastes delicious. Well done, Claire, for telling me about that. Right, I'm going to rinse my spoon because I'm going to use it again. So, tablespoon is 15 ml, teaspoon is 5 ml. So for 1 tablespoon, you want 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You mix that up. Put the chicken in there. Board because it's making a terrible noise. Make sure that all your chicken is well covered. And leave that to marinate. Now I'm doing that at 11:30, and we're going to eat very, very early this evening because I've got a Zoom at 6:30, and I've got to have eaten by then. So we're probably going to eat at 5:30, which is the bit of the witching hour about getting your tea ready. 5:30, which is way too early for us, but some days you have to do it, don't you? So there's my chicken marinating. I shall cover that with cling film. I'll put it in the fridge. The next thing I'm going to do to get ready is I'm going to get all of my vegetables ready for the rice. Me, I've forgotten how to use this from yesterday. Now the rice, a bit like risotto and the Spanish omelette, you can put in whatever you like in a fried rice. Obviously, we're doing egg fried rice, so you're going to put egg in it. You've got to have egg, you've got to have rice, got to have oil. Those 3 go without saying. Then after that, it's up to you. You can put, if you're just having fried rice, you can put leftover chicken in it, you can put prawns in it, you can put anything. Bacon, chorizo, whatever. I'm going to put peas, sweet corn, green beans, because I've got some in the freezer, and peppers and mushrooms in mine, because I've got all of those in the freezer. What I'm going to do now, in the fridge rather, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chop them all up ready, and the things that need blanching, frozen peas, frozen sweet corn, and my green beans to do with the blanch, I'm going to put them all in a colander and just pour a kettle full of boiling water over them. And that will be just enough. It'll defrost them enough because they're going to cook a bit in the rice. But I'm going to get those all done so that when and I'm going to stop this recording and save it. We're going to have a second recording, which will be me actually cooking a meal, which is what just pain to look at. I'm also going to cook my rice. Now, my rice, if you've been paying attention, you will know that my rice is the packet rice, which I bought when you couldn't buy rice anywhere at all. I bought a huge box of Uncle Ben's rice from Amazon. Sorry, I used Amazon. So I'll just get a sachet of that out, and that will be enough. Might even do 2 because one's a bit mean. So that's what I'm going to use. But if you haven't got those, I mean, just boil some rice and cool it. But you need it cooked and ready. So cook it and cool it. It's just something you can do ahead. I mean, you can use it hot. It doesn't have to be cold, but it's just easier if you're all ready, you've got everything done, as you know. So I'm going to chop all my veg now. I'm going to blanch them all now. I'm going to have them all in a plastic box ready for tonight. That's what I'm going to do, and that's what I suggest you get done. And then when you see me cook, that's all you'll have to do is cook it, and it doesn't take very long. It's quite a quick meal. So I'm going to stop now. So there's going to be 2 recordings this week of the main course, and this is recording 1, which I'm stopping right now. See you later.